crashed as soon as Isolated joined, or left, sorry. Not quite sure what that was all about. Let's get set up. I think I missed a few things. We are racing under safety here, it seems. It seems we've got a few pitting with Noof, M&T Rocker, Manon and Sukablet all pitting. I believe that was for front wing. I did see some down the front straight there where the start finish line is. Just a whole front wing sitting there. So I think it was a bit of a chaotic launch. But we are seeing some penalties as well. Oh, Isolate with Flare, ignoring yellow flag. Instant disqualification. That's his race well over. Not quite sure why he's ahead of the safety car. It's going to be pulling over to a marshal post here. This has not been a great race for Isolate here. This has put a Red Bull 1-2 up here and just demolished AlphaTauri's chances here at solid points this race. Sweet though, the tyres have been a bit shaken up. Rigby getting the good start as I hoped, up to P4 on the mediums, which is going to set him up perfectly. Yeah, you don't say. Chemical Wolf P10, Connor P12, and the rest have ended up pitting out the medium runners. I believe there was a bit of contact back there, but I didn't quite catch it. As soon as Isolate left, it just instantly crashed my game. So it's a bit of a dash to get back there. Isolate obviously leaving. Got to be a bit unhappy about that. But his internet was obviously not quite on it today. Let's have a wee look at these penalties while we're waiting. All 5 seconds, this has got to be contact under the safety, with Lars 5 seconds, Bonnie with 5 seconds, Bada with 5 seconds, and Chemical Wolf with 5 seconds. Also noticing that it's been a very solid start for Bonnie here. Even edging out TJW, who started in the top 3, but is all the way back to 6th. Oh, ducking into the pits though. What tyres is he going to opt for? He's got to opt for hards unless he's going for the 2-stop. See if it's going to drop him all the way to the back, though this is going to be a very long drive for him. Yeah, hards. Not getting a wing change, just deciding on a very interesting strategy. He could lose it all or gain it all from this strategy. We'll just have to wait and see. So they sit on board with Mr. Science here. Performed very well in qualifying, but so far he's performing pretty well in the race, but obviously we're not seeing his true pace here. At least I hope this isn't his true pace. Ooh, Sukablet retiring. Not quite sure what that was about. I'm not seeing him anywhere on track. There's his bot pulling off there. He's obviously decided he's not racing anymore, not even going round to the pits to retire. Not sure that it'll be too... Well, he'll definitely be frowned upon by the stewards, I'd think. So they don't really like it when you retire on track. Well, that's 2 people out of this race before even lap 4. Just not a great start with 1 DNF and 1 DSQ. Should be a very interesting restart. Though we've not quite got the word in. At least I've not seen the word. of safety in this lap. It may be a bit late. Mr. Silence seems to know something I don't. He's backing off quite heavily, so I believe it is going in this lap. Obviously, his goals are going to be to try and get him and his teammate in P1 and 2 as much breathing ground as possible so they can get a clean pit stop in a way as well. Although they've definitely got to coordinate it. Oh, going just out of that corner there. That was quite a solid run, but it seems like Lars was ready for it and has followed them round here, leaving a massive gap to Rigby back there. Looks like we might be seeing a move from Bonnie here, burning all his overtake to get right up the back of Rigby here. Oh, Rigby taking a bit of an odd line. Bonnie obviously seizing the moment. Still not quite got the pass off though. Rigby just burning everything, getting past. Connor obviously losing it off Eau Rouge there. And well, that's a third retirement so far. Let's hope that doesn't bring out a safety car. You can see though, Mannon and TJW, both two people who've qualified really far up the grid and both in the top 5, but have both opted for the early hard strategy, planning on going to the end. This could really work in these two's favour, or it could just not really. They're definitely going to gain ground though when it comes to the pit cycle. It's just whether they can hold it or not. You can see though, Mr. Silence up in first all by himself. Lars getting the move done on Johnny and having ground all to himself as well. Sorry I didn't quite catch that. I'm sure that was a great overtake. I think there's definitely going to be pressure on Rigby here though in those mediums. Ooh, bit tight there, mate. Oh, we're seeing more yellows. I think Noof just lost it around bus stop there. It's not going to help his race too much. It's at least one position for both the hard boys. Head on board with Rigby. See how it's going in the Williams. Ooh, Gina. It's just getting right up the back of Temi here. Burning overtake here. Obviously Temi trying to burn it as well. Gimpman still having extra speed but not quite being able to find a way by. Temi taking the safe line and trying to run median just so Gimpman cannot get by. Ooh, a little bit slow in the exit though. At least a bit slow for Gimpman. Going through the source here. Bonnie has dropped off a bit from Rigby here, who is just enjoying this clean air on his mediums. He is set up in a very solid place right now. As long as he keeps it on track and keeps in position, he could be looking at a podium here. Yeah, you don't say. Rigby's coming alive with his mediums as well, just really getting on it. Although he should probably not take those sort of lines consistently. Could be risking a penalty there. Or another one. Ooh, Johnny just going a bit wide there. His battle with Larsh. It's definitely going to gain Rigby even more ground if those two continue like that. And anyways, talk about gaining ground. Mr. Silence really just disappearing into the distance. He has been a little bit silent, but he's obviously been focusing as he's just going further and further away. Oh, Johnny! Johnny just losing it in his battle with Larsh there. That's put Rigby up to P3 on the mediums. It's going to be a hard race for Johnny here, just barely left in the points now. Those softs are also going to be roasting, which is going to leave it at a disadvantage to Bada here, who's just going to sail by. It's like he wasn't even there. That's going to force Johnny out of the top 10 there. Put Bada into the points. Let's have a little look at Rigby. Just got some nice fresh air for him to enjoy his mediums in and not really have to worry about anybody else. He should be enjoying it right now. He should be enjoying this P3 he's set into. When the pit cycle comes around, he should easily be in P1 here. Yeah, very close actually. Temi obviously trying to use this DRS and close in on Bonnie as well, but mainly Infamous. Is G-Infamous going to make the move though? Oh, not quite backing off, but that's going to make Temi right up the back of them. This Temi seems to be a master at the late braking. Ooh, Eddie retiring though. Looks like he's just had it off there. One more remove and see if we can see. Yeah, just in the wall over there. Must have just quite lost it. I think he was in a battle there, so that's us up to 4 retirements so far. It's just the yellow so far though. Thank God not another safety. One's enough for this race, no more. Let's head back on board. G-Infamous, I think. Temi's just kind of backed out. Oh! G-Infamous just losing it. Too much curb and got too overzealous with his overtake. Just losing it and putting it in the wall. This position's now Temi's. Yeah, just letting him by. He's got a pit. There's no way he can run the wing like that. Yeah, ducking to the pits. He's probably going to join the rest. It is his pit window anyways, though. Yeah, Bonnie pitting as well, trying to get that undercut. But Bonnie's obviously going to do quite a bit better. Yeah, I agree. It is a bad choice with used tyres and overtake through there. But yeah, Bonnie going to be so much faster. But he does have that penalty under safety. He's going to have to sit there and serve it, but there we go. G-Infamous not coming out as far behind as I thought, but still a decent gap there. Head back on board. Chemical Wolf as well, profiting. He's really burning that ERS though to keep his teammate M&T Rocker back behind. This should set, as long as nothing happens between this gap, it should set Rigby, Chemical and TJW, I believe, as P1, 2 and 3. Once Mr. Silence, Larsh and Temi and M&T Rocker all pit. It should be soon. Although Chemical should probably stop using overtaking the corners. It's not the best idea. Let's look at the man of the day so far though. Rigby, all the way up to P3 on mediums. Will Mr. Silence be ducking into the pits this lap? Yes, he will. The leader is in the pits now. Larsh is going to be falling? No! Larsh is sticking it out. He's trying to go for an overcut. It's a very interesting choice. He's well aware he's not going to have pressure from behind from Rigby. Mr. Silence obviously putting on the mediums there. Temi following him in. What is Temi going to put on? Let's see. That'll be mediums. Oh, no, wrong pit box. Johnny pitting as well. Yeah, Temi putting on the mediums, and Johnny coming in for mediums as well, and it looked like wing there. Yeah, but Lars going to be absolutely uncontested for most of this, but Rigby will definitely be on a closing game here. He does have the better tyres. There's no way Lars is going past next lap. He's got to pit this lap. Those mediums cannot be holding up well, as you can tell though. Rigby gaining 2/10 to that tight section there. Only place Lars crofting and is in a straight line. Let's see. It's like he's going to be under quite a bit of pressure from Mr. Silence there on the fresh mediums. Ooh, yellow flags. It's Manon. Manon is round on those hards. Just really weren't working for him, I'm guessing. That's going to put him out of the top 10 if Bonnie goes by here. Which he will. Ooh. Nearly a collision there, but luckily Manon was careful not to. Lars ducking to the pits now. The thought couldn't take them any longer, and that's going to put our man of the hour, Rigby, up to P1. Chemical Wolf P2 and TGW P3, as I said. Mr. Silence sitting in P4 though, directly behind TJW. That gap he built obviously working for him. Just so far in front. Ooh, Chemical Wolf though retiring, as you can see back there, we just passed him. But Mr. Silence getting the move off in TJW. Chemical Wolf just losing up Eau Rouge in the older mediums. Sorry. And that's going to be our 5th retirement so far. He could have been on for a very solid position there along with Rigby, but guess it wasn't meant to be. That's going to be everybody moving up a position. We went from 17 people to 12. This is not great. Let's hope that's the last retirement of the day. So Mr. Silence is going to be hunting down Rigby on those older mediums, but Rigby will have the pace near the end of the race with those fresh softs. Let's have a wee look back at what's going on in the midfield. Lars obviously on a little bit of a comeback drive here. Up to P6 so far, which is very solid. Let's hope he can keep going. This track really does come down to survival sometimes, especially as close racing as this. We can see Chemical Wolf, Eddie, Connor, Sukable and Isolate with Flair all just slipping up here or there and having to pay for it, losing out in points. We've got Bada and Noof both going into the pits. This is going to be a double stack. They've not coordinated for this. Noof's going to have to wait. And he's waiting and waiting. He's finally getting his mediums on. And he's going, but that's just ruined it for him. McLaren's second last and last after that. So look at the gap between Bada and Noof there. They were not coordinated on that. They'd messed that up. Just was not ready for Noof that quickly. There was not the margin there that they needed. Let's have a little look back here as Bonnie seems to be all over the back end of Manon, who has been having a wee comeback drive of his own as well. After that spin he has just in the corner around here. Obviously running wide a little bit. Bonnie profiting off that run, but it's definitely not away by there. Oh, nearly spinning again. Some more time lost. This... Oh! Great reactions from Bonnie there. And Manning blocking him out. Oh, and another bump. Let's hope that's not damage. Three-way fight we're seeing here. G Infamous obviously getting involved. Look how close the racing is. Ooh, late on the brakes. A little bit of a nudge through there. That's going to be Bonnie ducking the pits along with Manning. That's just giving it to G Infamous. But let's see what Johnny can do on slightly fresher mediums. Johnny does have pace, so let's hope he can show it. G Infamous running a bit wide there at La Source, but not too much time loss. Grid's getting a little bit spaced out here. As you can see though, this is the gap that was caused by the double stack. Bada passed them ages ago and Noof just finally passing them. It costed Noof so much time when they double stacked there. I think we'll be seeing some close racing here, about as close as it's getting at this point in the race. G Infamous and Johnny. Or actually... Oh, I believe Bonnie tried making something work up Eau Rouge and threw Pouon there, but not quite sticking it. Obviously hunting Manning down. Let's hope Manning doesn't spin it, have issues in this sector 2 like he kept on having. Because he's definitely got the speed through sector 1 over Bonnie, but Bonnie really shows up in 2. G Infamous losing out though. I think that may have been a little collision there, or a bit too much pressure. His tyre's a bit hot, as you can see in that corner. That may have been another spin there. Luckily nobody's put it in the wall yet, at least not there. Let's go have a wee look at TJW up here, who's trying to stick with Mr. Silence, but not quite working. Rigby though, still going like an absolute champion, getting somewhat close to his pit window. He's probably going to be pitting around about lap 14. So this lap or next, I'd say, unless he really wants his soft to be in prime as long as possible, as long as he's not struggling with those mediums though. If he is, he's obviously going to try and pit somewhat earlier and try and stretch the softs, but Rigby really hasn't had an issue all day with these mediums. He's been quite content driving around Spa here, no issue. Grid order is definitely shaken up though from what it started as. Let's have a look at positions gained. Yeah, Rigby up from P11 to P1. Mr. Silence currently down from P1 to P2, but he might get that back depending on how fast Rigby is on these softs at the end here. TJW sitting back in P3, Lars still in P4. Temi P7 up 7 positions, sorry, from up to P5. NT Rocker up 8 positions to P6. Johnny staying the same in P7. G Infamous up 1 position. Bada up 4 positions. Noof up 7. All the way from last to 10th. Very solid drive from him. Manning down 6 and Bonnie down 4. That could change as they are on the fresh compound. It's been a very good comeback drive for TJW and Large as well though. Who've had very rocky starts but have managed to pull it back in this midsection here with some good strategy calls and just solid all-round driving. Most people though enjoying some nice clean air. Oh, not sure what I quite caught there. M&T Rocker's gone round. Just couldn't hold it through Pouon in the older tyres. Maybe he should have backed off a little bit up there, because he obviously didn't have full commitment. That's going to drop him right down the order. He was sitting in P6 there, but all the way down to P9. At least he's still in the points, but it's really not what you want to be seeing. Let's head back with Nufir, who seems to be getting closed in on by Manon. Yeah, a little bit of a lock-up from Noof there. You see though, nobody on the softs yet. Is Rigby going to be pitting? No, Rigby's still not pitting. Obviously trying to stretch those mediums. Depending on how fast Manon here he is, could be a double move on M&T Rocker and Nufir. Saw M&T Rocker struggling earlier this lap. Noof obviously getting the move off there. Ooh, Manon late on the brakes, just barely missing and hitting M&T Rocker, who had wing damage there. That's why he's ducking to the pits. He will be opting for the soft compound, which could set him up to take fastest lap at the end of this race here if Rigby does not take it. But Rigby does not seem intent on going for the soft compound right now. Manon still stuck behind Noof right now. Hopefully with the assist of DRS he might be able to do something along the Camel here. DRS wide open. Look at that closing speed. What a dive from Manon. Full commitment into that corner, right on the apex. Held it perfectly. So smooth. You didn't even think he turned in there. Took it in a straight line. That was a beautiful corner for him. Noof left the gap open. Manon saw it and wanted it. He was not waiting around. The Renault driver obviously got places to be and positions to have. TJW though, moving up along with Mr. Silence after Rigby's pit. Obviously pitting on the soft compound here. It's a very quick pit stop. It's going to put him down in P3. A little bit of a slide there though. He has got some ground to catch though, and Lars to defend from while his tyres are still cold here. Lars may be making a move along the Camel here. And you see Lars just right up the back of Rigby, making a dive with that extra speed, but Rigby using those softs to his fullest and late on the brakes, keeping Lars behind. This is definitely where Rigby should profit in this tighter and more intricate Sector 2. You can see Lars just struggling to keep up. Lars obviously going later in the brakes through here in Sector 2, but it's really not giving him the run. He gets closer but disappears when on the exit. Ooh, Rigby running a little bit wide there. Not quite sure what that was about, just wasn't prepared for what these softs were like. Lars trying to close in, but not quite. Actually, Rigby's goal is to get TJW, who should be an easy target on those 13-lap-old hards. And Mr. Silence, who is just not that far up the road, actually. In his 7-lap-old mediums, Rigby may be able to pull this off. He does have 5 more laps to do something here, get some ground, but Lars is pressuring him quite heavily. Let's hope that doesn't put a damper on Rigby's performance here. This may be Rigby going for fastest lap as well. quite a bit of curb there though. It was very Manning style. Everybody's a little bit spaced out right now though. Only people that aren't really are. Oh, Bada putting it in the wall. We have another retirement. That is us up to 6. Oh, bringing out a VSC. That is not going to help Rigby's progress here. That is going to move everybody up behind him 1 position, putting M&T Trocker, once he passes him, up to P11. Yeah, obviously the only people who aren't a bit social distanced is Rigby and Larsh and Bonnie and Noof, I believe it is, yeah. Who have just been sticking together recently. Ooh, and it's gone green. That's definitely going to ruin Rigby's fastest lap chances, but I think the real goal here is P2 or P1, depending on how fast Mr. Silence is. Because he's really shown true speed all day. Oh, that looks like Manning spinning again. The same corner. He just can't get a break round there. Really not his sort of corner, evidently. Luckily not bringing out anything else, though, in the later stages of this race. He may just duck into the pits and flick on some softs and just try and go fastest lap. Or he may just try and stick with his P10 he's sitting in right now and enjoy his 1 point. Yeah, obviously opting for just sticking with the P10. Come on, Rigby. I don't want to sound biased against TJW and Mr. Silence, but come on, Rigby. I would love to see Rigby win this race just for the fact of it's been such a drive for him. Coming back from P11 all the way to P3 is just quite a performance, especially around Spa. But he has got to close a almost 6-second window to TJW, then a 4-second window from TJW to Mr. Silence. He's got just about 10 seconds to close on Mr. Silence, but he does have a penalty as well. Not going to be great, as it is 3 seconds. You can see though, Rigby with 3 seconds, Larsh with 3 seconds, Johnny with 6 seconds, Bonnie with 6 seconds, and Manning with 6 seconds. I'm so glad those two haven't been near each other the whole race, or I would have a bad time with Bonnie and Johnny. You can see though, Rigby almost running out of VRS than the Camel there, just trying to burn everything. He needs every ounce of speed and pace he has on him. Rigby seems to be actually dropping off time. I'm not quite sure what that's about. This lap he's almost lost 5/10 to somebody who's on 15 lap old hards. Obviously TJW being on those hards since lap 4. Getting through all the chaos all the way up to P2. Sorry if I'm silent quite a lot, but I'm not really sure what else to say at the moment. Other than just watch this gap hopefully go down, because it really doesn't seem to be changing all too much between TJW and Rigby. Really not what you want to be seeing. P3 is good, but P2 could definitely be on the cards for Rigby here. Only 2 laps to go though. I think Mr. Silence is essentially off the table. Looks like there is close racing though back here with Kemi getting closed in on by Johnny. Kemi absolutely rocketing out that corner though. Oh, MNT Rock are retiring. Just losing Oppo Rouge and crashing at Pouon. That's obviously not going to bring out safety or anything like that this late in the race. It's just going to be a yellow. I think depending on how fast it's cleaned up, we may be able to see it. Up here. Oh, right in the middle of the road. That is incredibly dangerous. Let's hope TJW doesn't get caught off guard. Rigby coming up, and it's clear, thank God. That was incredibly dangerous. There should have been something out for that, my God. That was a scary crash and even scarier positioning. Directly centering the road, as you can see though, facing the wrong way. That's going to put us up to a total of 7 retirements this race though. Everybody who is in this race now is scoring points. Ooh, we're seeing Manning duck into the pits. I'm not sure if he's trying to go for fastest lap, because if so, he can't. It's too late to do so, because the pit is going to be included in that time. Where's the fastest lap actually sitting at right now? Let's have a look. It is with Rigby with a 46.020. Obviously the fastest on track by a gigantic margin. Second being Manning with a 40.741. And then it would be Mr. Silence with a 46.789. Yeah, Rigby just obviously the fastest on track, but it's not making it enough right now. He has got to be closing on this last lap. That gap has really been unchanging, which is not what Rigby wants to be seeing here. He is within 5 seconds though, and I do believe Rigby did get a 5 seconds off the start, so if it is an unfair 5 seconds, he could have P2 here as long as he holds this gap. 3/10 right now is what it's sitting at. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong gap. I'm very smart. Yeah, that's the gap between TJW and Mr. Silence. TJW obviously rocketing away, whereas Rigby is dropped back almost 5 seconds. I don't know what's happening, he just doesn't have the pace on the softs. Oh, sorry, that's to the leader. Oh my God, so many different things, yeah. 5 seconds from TJW to Mr. Silence, but 5.6 from Rigby to TJW. Yeah, I believe Rigby did have a 5 second. If he wants it removed, he has got to get 9/10 down this straight here. That is going to be Mr. Silence across the line, P1. TJW is across the time, P2. Rigby P3, Larch, P4. Kemi, P5, Johnny, P6, G Infamous, P7, it's going to be Bonnie coming up the line here for P8. Noose just coming around bus stop here for P9. And the last of our finishers, Manon, who has not had a spectacular race so far, just struggling with the same corner every time, coming around the corner for the final points finish, and the final finisher of this race, P10. Well, that has been one wild race, I've got to say. Sorry I missed the first 2 laps, but just a little bit of connection issues, I guess. Driver of the day given to Noof, but I'm not sure I quite agree with that. I'd say driver of the day is most definitely Rigby with that performance. Obviously, though, an excellent drive for Mr. Silence, who's constantly on the pace, quali and race. Very diverse podium there. Manon taking the fastest lap though at the end there with a 44.566. Taking the fast lap, contrary to what I said. Very solid of him. That's going to be 2 points for Manon. Sure, Rigby's not going to appreciate that. But that has been Tier 4 Belgium. I hope you enjoyed. That has been just a wild race. And I'm glad you could join me for it. Have a nice night, guys.